Some paint cans down to read them.
Live this afternoon, this evening from Eclipse Cinemas in really cold Bundoran. Hey, Merry Christmas.
I was going to try and defend Bundoran and say it's not that cold, but who am I kidding? It's freezing. It's freezing high up here, but sure, it's freezing everywhere. Although I have to say, as I was coming out this morning, still people out surfing, but you gotta be impressed. Yeah, I gotta admire that. That's Bundoran for you. Yep.
We are in the Christmas spirit, are we not?
Well, I think we'd have to be. But last week, you kind of dragged me kicking and screaming into Christmas. You're the first person to say Happy Christmas to me. And now we're in full-blown Christmas. And, you know, I'm happy about most of it, Jamie. I'm not sure how I feel about all of it. And I'll explain to you why. But first, I suppose we'll start with the clip. And I think that'll lead us up into it. So it's all Christmas classics this weekend at Eclipse Cinemas Bundoran. And we're going to start off with this Christmassy sequel.
Hiya, pal.
Deck the halls with Marv and Harry.
Yes.
Make their Christmas not so merry. Give them bricks and give them riches. One more Christmas in the trenches. Toss some paint cans down to greet them. Send the toolbox down to meet them. Serve the meals for Christmas dinner. Kevin is declared the winner.
May I do the thinking, please?
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
That is the best clip we've had in years.
I was going to say, normally now when I edit the video afterwards and put it up on Facebook, I usually cut out the bit where we're watching the clip and I put in a clip instead. This time I might just put you dancing in that. There isn't a 5-year-old who enjoyed that clip as much as you did.
Yeah.
And look, this is part of the problem. I'm not saying Home Alone, of course, is a classic. And this weekend, you know, and we're playing it. It was a big hit last weekend in the Director's Lounge. Let's play it again. But we've got the sequel in the Director's Lounge. And here's my thing, right? Home Alone 2 is a good sequel. It is good. But just and we've sold loads of tickets for it, Jamie. But the thing is, just before it, Miracle on 34th Street is on. One of my favorite movies of all time. And I don't mean my favorite Christmas movies. I mean one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's the Richard Attenborough 1994 one. But I know it's one of those movies I think both versions are perfect. The only comparison I think of is the Philadelphia Story in High Society. But here's the thing. Who's in Home Alone 2? Donald Trump. Donald Trump is in Home Alone 2. It's sold loads of tickets. Who's in Miracle on 34th Street? Santa. And it hasn't sold as many tickets. And I refuse to believe the people of the Northwest want to see Donald Trump more than Santa. Unless, well, I was going to say unless you throw stuff at the screen, but then I'll be fired for bringing that up. So please don't do that. You can boo. I think it's one time you can make noise in the cinema. He's only in it for like 30 seconds. And you go, boo.
Yeah.
But it is good fun. And again, it was unusual that a kid's sequel, usually it's the law of diminishing returns, but it is great fun. And of course, Brenda Fricker of all people turns up in it too, just after she won the Oscar. And I think everyone, you know, when you've done had a long career like Brenda Fricker has, you know, touring around Ireland, and you get your Oscar and you get offered a truckload of money to be in Home Alone 2 for a few minutes. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? So with Home Alone 2, I suppose we've some other good kids ones. We've the Grinch, the cartoon version.
Oh, the cartoon version, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this now because the Grinch is never off in our house for the kids.
Yeah, well, and again, it's one of those, both versions work really, don't they? But the new cartoon version was done by the same people who did Minions, and they know how to make a snappy, fun movie. And of course, Dr. Seuss, as a little fella, I had the Cat in the Hat, and I absolutely adored it, and I still do today. It was absolute genius. And that sort of character of who doesn't like Christmas, it's so much cleverer than the sort of saccharine movies we often get. So that's going to be a big hit this weekend. Santa Claus the movie, which is more from my generation, which I'm always surprised is still such a big hit, because it's 1980, it's lights and so on. And you think, oh, the effects are a little bit ropey. And then you see a 5-year-old's eyes light up.
Yeah.
And then for the slightly more mature viewer as well, we've got another Christmas classic, which is Love Actually. And here's another thing I have to say. Off air, we were talking about a certain fairy tale of New York. And I was saying, in 1986, I'm guessing, 86, 87, while I loved it at the time, I was disgusted it was kept off #1 by the Pet Shop Boys of all people. But I don't know if I would have thought in 35 years this would still be a classic. And in the same way with Love Actually, I remember seeing Love Actually in the cinema. I always liked Richard Curtis stuff, particularly Notting Hill was a favourite. I remember really enjoying it, but I don't think I would have thought people would love it so much. And they really do love it, except for those who absolutely hate it. I don't think there's anyone who thinks, that's all right. But if anyone's interested, right? Now, there's a lot of strong language in it, but Google Lindy West review of Love Actually. It is one of the funniest things I have ever read in my life, of a woman who absolutely hates it. And of course, one of the things everything she says is absolutely right, and yet is the reason I love it. It's a great classic. It's on Saturday night, and now I will be watching. Oh, come on, France! Please.
None of that.
But if you're one of those people who goes, oh no, when does the bleeding football end? Love Actually in the Director's Lounge. You can't beat that, Jamie, can you?
Great soundtrack as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with that song. And like Bill Nighy is so funny in it. He might be my favorite character in it. Oh, I must as men mention something that's always very special to us, something we always really enjoy, which is on Saturday we have our autism-friendly, our sensory-friendly screening. Because a lady wrote to me recently and just said, because sometimes when you interchange the terms, people aren't sure, and she just said, my child loves the cinema, but the loud noise upsets her. And I was saying, okay, sometimes it says autism friendly, sometimes it says sensory friendly, but it's the same thing. The sound is turned down a little. I know anybody who wants the sound turned down doesn't listen to you and me, Jamie, shouting at each other across the internet. But the sound turned down and the lights raised a bit, and we're playing Strange Worlds, the new Disney cartoon, which is great crack. Although I will say, for under 5s, it's pretty exciting. It's pretty tense. There's a lot of chasing. Now, it is Disney, everyone's going to be okay. But still, it gets a bit close on tension for a Disney movie for a while. But that's playing on Saturday morning too. So there might be families out there who be looking for something and not sure if it suits their particular family. Hopefully they can enjoy that.
Okay. Right. They're all playing from the weekend, are they?
All playing for the weekend. Various listings, and a lot of those are in the Director's Lounge, but there are some in the other screens as well for anyone on a budget.
Okay. Are we back next Thursday? Are we back?
We are.
We are back next Thursday.
The Blue Egypts Avatar is out. It's the only show in town. Will it be good? Have they wasted loads of money? Well, we'll find out next Thursday.
Okay. That's Collie on Movies. Till next Thursday. Have a good week at the movies.